Okay, so you guys have really sent in a really interesting mix this time.
Yeah.
Like, it's both like a guide to everyday health and beauty tips, like pretty specific stuff,
Yeah.
but also this much broader list of little things you can do to live a healthier life.
Yeah, exactly. And so I mean it's all about feeling great and looking your best, right?
Exactly.
But what's really cool is that the two sources even though they're coming at it from like slightly different angles, I mean the guide even mentions specific products.
Right.
And then the article is more about like just sort of general lifestyle approaches. They actually
Yeah.
complement each other really well.
Yep, that's true.
And I think what we're going to try to do today is like really go through both of these sources and pull out what are those really easy things you can actually work into your routine to see some noticeable improvements without having to do like a complete life overhaul, you know?
Right. Okay, so maybe we can start with the skin tips.
Sure. Hey.
The Everyday Tips Guide had 3 really practical ones that I thought we could dig into.
Yeah.
The first one was just to moisturize every single day,
Yeah.
which maybe sounds kind of obvious, but they really emphasized how important it is to stop your skin from losing water, basically.
Yeah.
So keeping it hydrated, smooth, soft, feeling good, all that.
Yeah. It's really about creating that barrier, you know?
Right.
And actually, if we think a little bit deeper about that barrier, it's not just about like how your skin feels on the surface.
Right.
Like the guide mentions healthy skin that's intact is really like your body's first line of defense against all kinds of stuff out there, bacteria, pollutants, all that.
Yeah, that's true.
It's almost like if you think about your skin barrier as like a brick wall,
Okay.
that moisturizer is kind of like filling in all those little gaps in the mortar. So
Interesting.
you're preventing stuff from getting in.
Hmm.
And you're also stopping the moisture that's already there from escaping.
Right. Okay.
So it's really like building up your defenses over time.
Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
The second skin tip was all about what we're eating. Specifically, getting lots of foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids.
Yeah.
And they specifically mentioned fish and nuts as good sources.
Right.
And apparently, these can actually help protect your skin from UV damage, like the signs of aging and even inflammation.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing how what you eat can actually act like a built-in protector for your skin.
Right. And what's really cool here is you're kind of working from the inside out.
Mm.
Those fatty acids actually have anti-inflammatory properties
Okay.
that work at a cellular level.
Interesting.
And that means that you're not only like benefiting your skin's appearance, so maybe you'll see less redness or, you know, it might be a little smoother and have a better texture,
Right.
but it's actually also contributing to your overall like systemic health.
Wow.
So it's almost like you're nourishing your skin's ability to withstand anything that's thrown at it,
Huh.
whether it's sun or pollution or whatever from within.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The last skin recommendation was all about sun protection, so
Yeah.
SPF 30 or higher.
Yes. Very important.
They did say, getting vitamin D from the sun is good,
Right.
but they really stressed how important it is to protect against premature aging and, more importantly, skin cancer.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a balancing act, isn't it?
Totally. It's about being sun smart, you know?
Right.
You want to make sure your body can produce that vitamin D,
Yeah.
which we all need,
Right.
but we also have to minimize the harmful effects of all that UV radiation. So
Right.
that SPF 30 plus is kind of the widely accepted recommendation, you know,
Right.
from dermatologists to significantly reduce that risk.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to healthy hair.
Sure.
Again, they had some really practical tips that I thought were doable.
Okay.
First up was air drying your hair as much as you can.
Right.
And they said that because heat from things like blow dryers, straighteners, and curling irons can really dry out and damage your hair over time,
Yeah.
make it brittle, prone to breakage.
Absolutely.
I know I've definitely experienced that like straw-like feeling after
Mhm.
too much heat styling.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there.
So is it literally like damaging the hair shaft, or what's going on there?
Yeah. So think about the structure of your hair shaft.
Okay.
Too much heat can really disrupt the cuticle. That's that
Ah.
outer protective layer.
Right.
And it can make it rough and it'll lose moisture.
Okay.
But then it can also even weaken those internal protein bonds.
Interesting.
And that's what leads to breakage.
Mhm.
So air drying is just much gentler, you know?
Right.
Lets your hair dry naturally, retain its moisture,
Okay.
less damage.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The second hair tip was something I hadn't really thought about before.
Okay.
They said when you're shampooing to really focus on your scalp and not so much on the ends of your hair.
Interesting.
Apparently, washing the ends too much can actually strip away those natural oils that keep them healthy.
Yeah.
And it can even lead to flyaways.
Oh, for sure.
So basically, like, scalp gets the good scrub and then the ends kind of just get rinsed.
Yeah, that's the key insight.
Right.
Because your scalp is where all those sebaceous glands are, that's where the oil, the sebum, is produced.
Right.
And that's actually what conditions and protects your hair.
Okay.
So when you're shampooing, you're mostly trying to cleanse that scalp of like any excess oil or dirt product buildup.
Right.
And then just the shampoo that runs down as you rinse is usually enough to clean the rest of your hair without like overstripping it.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Never thought about that.
Yeah, it's a good tip.
And the final hair tip was all about protein.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Just like it's important for building strong muscles, it's also crucial for healthy hair growth.
Absolutely.
So making sure you're getting enough protein in your diet is key to keeping your locks looking good.
Exactly. So, I mean, hair is mostly made up of keratin,
Okay.
which is a fibrous protein.
Right.
So if your body's not getting enough protein, it might actually prioritize it for other functions.
Oh, wow.
And then that can impact your hair.
Interesting.
Its growth, its strength, even the texture. And I mean, just like you said, hair is also really important for protection,
Right.
provides warmth, shields your scalp from the sun, all that good stuff.
Okay, let's talk teeth.
All right.
I mean, who doesn't want a brighter, healthier smile, right?
Right, of course.
So they started off with diet, again, specifically recommending dairy products
Okay.
because they contain calcium, which helps remineralize and strengthen your enamel.
Yes.
It's like giving your teeth a suit of armor.
That's a great way to put it.
Right.
Because enamel, that's that hard outer layer of your teeth,
Right.
is really what's protecting them from acid erosion, from foods and drinks, all that.
Mm.
And calcium is like a key mineral in that enamel.
Yeah.
So that remineralization process is basically like replenishing the minerals that maybe have been lost,
Right.
keeping it nice and strong and resistant to damage.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The second tip for healthy teeth was all about limiting those staining drinks like coffee, tea, red wine.
Oh, yeah, those are the big culprits.
They said that those drinks contain pigments that can actually latch onto your enamel and cause discoloration over time.
Exactly. They contain these things called chromogens, which are basically like color molecules that are really good at binding to surfaces.
Interesting.
And even though your enamel's hard,
Yeah.
it's not perfectly smooth.
Right.
You know, there's tiny little pores or regularities where these pigments can kind of build up.
Oh,
And over time, that's what you see as stains.
got it.
Yeah.
And then the last tooth tip, they specifically mentioned brushing with a toothpaste, like Pronamel Strong and Bright.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that.
They highlighted how it can actually strengthen enamel, and that helps prevent wear and tear and that yellowish tint that can happen over time.
Right.
So it really seems like strong enamel is like the foundation for a bright and healthy smile.
It really is. That's the core message.
Okay.
Strong, healthy enamel is so much more resistant
Yeah.
to all that acid erosion and wear and tear and staining. And when the enamel weakens or thins out, that underlying layer, which is called dentin,
Yeah.
which is naturally more yellow,
Yeah.
can become more visible.
Interesting.
And as that little excerpt, what is tooth enamel, so clearly states, you know, once enamel is gone,
Yeah.
your body can't regenerate it.
Oh, wow.
So we've really got to protect what we've got.
Good reminder to take care of that enamel.
Sure.
So those were the targeted tips for skin, hair, and teeth.
Okay.
Now, the Healthy Life article really broadened the scope
Yeah, they did.
with a whopping 50 tips for overall well-being.
50, that's a lot.
So maybe we can just hit on some of the key themes from that.
Sounds good.
Okay, so hydration was right up there.
Of course.
Really emphasizing how important it is to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water every single day.
Yeah.
For everything from, just keeping your body functioning properly
Sure.
to making your skin look good, aiding digestion, even boosting your energy levels.
It really is the foundation,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, water is involved in like countless bodily processes, nutrient transport, temperature regulation, waste removal,
Yeah,
you name it.
it's pretty crucial.
So staying adequately hydrated really underpins almost every aspect of good health.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, right after that, they talked about the importance of establishing a consistent morning routine.
Okay.
So creating a positive start to your day with things like stretching, maybe doing some journaling, having a healthy breakfast, all to kind of set a productive and positive tone.
So it's really about starting the day on the right foot.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, having a predictable and positive routine in the morning, it can really have this ripple effect throughout your whole day.
Okay.
It can influence your mood, your focus.
Yeah.
Even like the choices you make later in the day
Interesting.
about like what you eat and how active you are.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Another big one was the advice to really load up on vegetables. They said to aim to have veggies fill about half of your plate at every meal.
That's a good visual.
Right. This is a really simple way to make sure you're getting those essential vitamins and minerals and fiber.
And the variety is really important there
Right.
because different colored vegetables often have different beneficial phytochemicals and nutrients.
Mm.
So the more diverse your intake, the better.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we can't forget about sleep.
Right. The cornerstone.
Getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night is so important
Absolutely.
for better concentration, mood, and just overall recovery.
You know, that's when your body and mind are really doing all those repairs,
Right.
rejuvenating.
Mm.
So adequate sleep is really fundamental for cognitive function, emotional regulation,
Yeah.
a strong immune system,
Right.
even like physical recovery.
I know for me personally, like my whole day can be thrown off if I haven't slept well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Sleep is crucial.
They also talked about the importance of getting some form of daily exercise, at least 30 minutes of something you actually enjoy,
Yeah,
whether it's a brisk walk, dancing around your living room, whatever works for you.
right. It shouldn't feel like punishment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's got to be something sustainable.
Exactly. And that kind of consistent, moderate activity has so many benefits.
Hmm.
You know, it helps your heart.
Yeah.
It can help with weight management.
Right.
It can boost your mood, your energy levels.
It's amazing how much of an impact it can have.
It really is.
Another recurring theme throughout a lot of the advice was limiting sugar
Right.
and choosing natural sweeteners like those found in fruit whenever possible.
Yeah, it's all about cutting back on those empty calories
Right.
and all the potential downsides of too much sugar.
Right. Because excess sugar has been linked to so many health problems.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Everything from weight gain to type 2 diabetes to inflammation.
Wow.
So, yeah, opting for those naturally sweet foods in moderation is definitely the way to go.
Okay. They also really emphasized managing stress
Yeah.
effectively through things like relaxation techniques like meditation or deep breathing exercises, and knowing when to reach out for professional help if things start to feel really overwhelming.
Right. It's about building up that resilience to stress and having healthy ways to cope, you know, and recognizing when it's getting to be too much and reaching out for support is a good thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a sign of strength.
Absolutely.
The article also suggested finding ways to incorporate more activity throughout your day, even in small ways,
Yeah.
like taking the stairs instead of the elevator, going for short walks during your breaks.
Right. It's not just about those dedicated workout sessions. It's
Exactly.
about like moving naturally throughout the day.
Right. All those little bits add up.
Exactly. And it all contributes to like burning more calories and just generally improving your physical health.
Okay. Another piece of advice that felt really timely was about setting boundaries around screen time.
Oh, yeah, especially in the evenings.
Right, especially before bed. They said it can help improve your sleep quality and just encourage healthier habits overall.
Well, you know, all that blue light that's emitted from electronic screens,
Right.
it can actually mess with your melatonin production, which is that hormone that helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle.
Oh, right.
So having those screen-free periods can really improve your sleep,
Especially before bed.
especially before bed.
Got it.
Yeah.
They also talked about taking a moment each day to reflect on things you're grateful for.
Oh, I like that one.
Maybe even writing them down in a journal
Yeah.
as a way to boost your mood.
It's such a simple practice,
Right.
but it can really shift your focus from what you're lacking
Yeah.
to what you already have and what you appreciate.
Right.
And that can really help you cultivate a more positive outlook
Yeah, that makes sense.
and increase your overall sense of well-being.
Okay. And of course, this one's super important. Completely avoiding smoking
Yeah, absolutely.
and seeking support if you're trying to quit. It's linked to so many serious health problems.
It's like one of the biggest modifiable risk factors for so many diseases.
Wow.
So quitting has like immediate and substantial benefits
Yeah.
for pretty much every organ in your body.
It's pretty incredible.
It really is.
They also talked about being mindful of portion sizes when you're eating
Right.
and really paying attention to your body's hunger and fullness cues
Yeah, that's so important.
as a way to maintain a healthy weight.
That's basically what intuitive eating is all about. Paying attention to your body's signals
Yeah.
about when you're hungry and when you're full.
Okay.
It's a really important part of developing healthy eating habits.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it can really help prevent overeating.
Okay. Another important dietary tip was choosing whole, unprocessed foods over processed options whenever possible
Oh, yeah, of course.
to avoid all those unhealthy additives and just get more nutrients overall.
Right. Whole foods in their natural state
Yeah.
are generally more nutrient dense. So you're getting more vitamins and minerals and fiber per calorie
Okay.
compared to processed foods, which are often loaded with added sugars,
Right.
unhealthy fats, artificial ingredients, all that.
Not good.
Not so good.
They also talked about incorporating mindfulness practices into your day, like
Yeah.
meditation journaling, even just eating mindfully
Right.
as a way to reduce anxiety and improve your focus.
It's about being more present,
Yeah.
right? And mindfulness really helps you become more aware of your thoughts, your feelings, even your bodily sensations,
Mm-hmm.
but without judgment.
Interesting.
And that can lead to like better emotional regulation, less stress,
Right.
improved concentration.
Wow, it really does sound like a really beneficial practice.
Yes, for sure.
They also mentioned making sure you get some sunlight,
Oh, yeah.
about 15 to 30 minutes a day
Yeah.
for that vitamin D.
Right, but still being sun safe.
Right. So kind of balancing that earlier point about sun protection.
It's exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where you can get enough vitamin D, which is important for your bones and your immune system, but without overdoing it.
Okay. This one I liked, making an effort to laugh more often.
Oh, yeah. Always good advice.
Engaging in activities that bring you joy and amusement.
Right.
Sounds like a good prescription for happiness.
It really can be.
Yeah.
You know, laughter has all these physiological and psychological benefits.
Interesting.
It releases endorphins, reduces stress hormones,
Wow.
just generally makes you feel better.
Okay. They also mentioned incorporating cardiovascular exercise like running or swimming into your routine
Sure.
for good heart health and to help burn some calories.
Yeah, cardio is really important for maintaining a healthy heart,
Right.
improving lung function, boosting circulation,
Mhm.
and it can definitely help with weight management.
Okay. They also talk about practicing yoga regularly
Oh, yeah, yoga's great.
for its benefits in flexibility, strength building, relaxation, and stress reduction.
It's like a really holistic activity.
Right.
You know, it combines physical postures with breathing techniques
Mm-hmm.
and often even meditation or mindfulness.
Wow.
So it really is a comprehensive practice
That makes sense.
for both your physical and mental health.
Um, Another tip I thought a lot of us could benefit from was about limiting multitasking,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
trying to focus on one task at a time to improve productivity and reduce feelings of stress.
Multitasking can really drain you.
Yeah.
But when you really focus your attention on just one thing,
Right.
you tend to be more efficient,
Mm,
you make fewer mistakes,
Right.
and you just don't get as mentally fatigued.
I can see that.
Yeah.
They also talked about cultivating a positive mindset
Absolutely.
by surrounding yourself with uplifting influences and using positive affirmations.
Right. You know, your thoughts have a really powerful impact
Mm.
on your overall well-being.
Yeah, that's true.
So consciously choosing positive thoughts and affirmations
Right.
can help build your self-esteem, your resilience, and just make you more optimistic.
Okay. Another tip that's good for your heart health is reducing the amount of salt you use in your cooking,
Yeah, for sure.
opting for herbs and spices for flavor instead.
Right, because too much sodium can contribute to high blood pressure,
Mm.
which is a major risk factor for heart disease.
Right.
So herbs and spices are a great way to add flavor without all that salt.
Okay. They also reiterated the importance of eating a balanced diet that includes all the different food groups in appropriate portions.
Of course, variety and moderation are key.
So basically, making sure you're getting a good mix of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals,
Exactly.
all of that is crucial for your body to function properly.
It really is.
They also talked about making time for regular meditation, even if it's just for a few minutes each day,
Yeah, meditation is so powerful.
to help calm your mind, improve focus, and support your emotional health.
And, you know, even those short, consistent periods of meditation can really add up in terms of benefits.
Yeah.
You know, reducing stress, improving concentration, fostering inner peace.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Another simple but important tip was incorporating daily stretching into your routine
Oh, yeah. Stretching is so good.
for better flexibility and circulation.
It really helps keep your body limber and healthy.
Right.
You know, maintaining good flexibility and circulation are important for preventing injuries, reducing muscle stiffness,
Right.
and just like generally feeling more comfortable.
Okay. And of course, none of these things matter if you're not consistent with them.
Right. Consistency is key.
That's where you really see those long-term benefits.
It's not about quick fixes, you know,
Right.
it's about building sustainable habits
Yeah, that makes sense.
over time.
They also talked about the importance of socializing with friends for the sake of your mental health,
Oh, yeah. Strong social connections are so vital.
because they provide a sense of belonging and support and purpose,
Exact.
all of which are important for our mental and emotional health.
And spending time with loved ones can really help reduce feelings of loneliness and stress.
That's true.
Yeah.
Um, they also recommended being mindful of your alcohol consumption,
Right.
maybe setting some limits or even having some alcohol-free days each week.
Yeah, moderation is important.
And it's good to be aware of how it's impacting your health.
Absolutely.
And then just generally practicing moderation in all aspects of your life
Yeah. Finding that balance.
when it comes to food, exercise, leisure activity.
Right. It's about what works for you in the long run,
That makes sense.
you know.
They also talked about making an effort to practice deep listening when you're talking to others
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
to help improve your relationships.
Deep listening shows respect.
Mm-hmm.
It encourages empathy.
Right.
It just fosters better communication and understanding.
Yeah, and stronger bonds.
Exactly.
They also recommended choosing to walk whenever you can,
Sure.
maybe setting a goal of at least 30 minutes of walking each day.
Walking is such a great low-impact exercise.
Yeah.
You know, has so many benefits for your heart, your mood, your weight even.
It's so simple and accessible, too.
It really is.
Another simple but effective tip was taking deep breaths regularly throughout the day as a way to manage stress.
Oh, yeah. Deep breathing can really help.
It's a tool we always have with us
It is, and it's so effective.
because it activates the parasympathetic nervous system,
Right.
which counteracts that stress response
Just
and promotes relaxation.
so simple, but so powerful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
They also encourage people to make a conscious effort to show kindness to others
Oh, I love that one.
because it benefits both the person receiving the kindness and the person giving it.
Absolutely. You know, acts of kindness can boost your own mood, give you a sense of purpose.
Right.
And it strengthens social connections,
Yeah.
contributes to a more positive community.
It's amazing how much of an impact it can have.
It really is.
Another important tip was scheduling regular health checkups with your doctor
Oh, yeah. Preventative care is so important.
for early detection of any potential health issues.
Exactly, because, you know, you can often catch things in their early stages when they're much easier to treat. So regular checkups are key.
Okay. They also talked about being mindful of safety in your everyday activities,
Of course.
paying attention to your surroundings to prevent accidents and injuries.
You know, it's so easy to get caught up in our own little worlds.
Yeah.
But taking those extra moments to be aware of what's going on around you
Right.
can really make a difference.
And preventing those unnecessary accidents.
Exactly.
Another tip was taking the time to read food labels carefully
Yeah, knowledge is power.
so you can make more informed choices about what you're eating.
Right, because understanding those labels empowers you to make healthier choices.
Okay.
You know, you're getting information about the ingredients, the nutritional content, potential allergens.
Yeah.
So it's really about being an educated consumer.
Okay. And, of course, we can't forget about flossing.
Ah, yes,
Yeah.
dental hygiene.
Making sure to floss regularly as part of your routine
It really does make a difference.
because it complements brushing.
Yeah, it gets into all those little nooks and crannies that your toothbrush can't reach,
Right.
you know, between your teeth along the gum line.
Okay.
Removing plaque and food particles.
Right.
And that helps prevent cavities and gum disease.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Another quick tip was taking regular short breaks during work or study
Oh, yeah. Breaks are so important.
to help refresh your mind and prevent burnout.
They really can improve your focus, your productivity, and just your overall mental well-being. Because you're giving your mind a chance to rest and recharge.
Yeah. I definitely notice difference when I take breaks.
Yeah, me too.
They also talked about the importance of staying curious,
Oh, yeah.
making an effort to learn new things throughout your life.
Lifelong learning is so enriching.
Right.
You know, it keeps your mind engaged and stimulated, and it can actually contribute to cognitive health and just a general sense of purpose and fulfillment.
That's amazing.
It is.
They also touched on cultivating healthy relationships with supportive friends
Yeah.
and practicing open and honest communication.
Those strong, positive relationships are so important.
Yeah.
You know, they provide emotional support, they reduce stress,
Right.
they contribute to your overall happiness. It's really vital to nurture those connections.
Okay. And then finally, they reiterated the importance of balanced nutrition,
Of course.
making sure to include a wide variety of foods in your diet.
So we're back to that variety,
Yeah.
making sure you're getting all those essential nutrients that
Right.
your body needs
Okay.
to function at its best.
Wow. That is quite a comprehensive list.
It is.
And it's really striking how many simple things we can actually do each day
Yeah.
that collectively contribute to feeling healthier, looking better,
Right.
and just generally boosting our overall well-being,
Absolutely.
pulling from both those specific beauty tips and the broader lifestyle advice.
Yeah, and what's so compelling is seeing how interconnected it all is.
Hmm.
Taking care of your skin through diet and sun protection isn't just about aesthetics. It's
Mm.
about your overall health, how
Oh,
your body functions as a whole.
right.
Like prioritizing enough sleep doesn't just affect your mood,
Yeah.
it affects your energy levels,
Right.
which can then influence your choices around exercise
Mm.
and even what you crave to eat.
It's all connected.
It really is. It's all part of this larger system.
Absolutely. And as the Healthy Life article so wisely pointed out, this isn't about making massive overnight changes.
Right.
It's about consistently incorporating those smaller, more manageable steps
Yes.
into your routine.
Small steps add up.
Every little bit really does make a difference over time.
It's about building a strong foundation one step at a time.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So as you're reflecting on all these tips,
Yeah.
from something as simple as moisturizing or adding some omega-3s to your diet to prioritizing sleep, maybe going for a walk,
Right.
or just trying to be a little bit more mindful,
Yeah.
what's one small change you feel inspired to incorporate into your own routine starting today?
That's a good question.
And how do you think that single step